Alright, so this is day one, or I guess day two of the turbo swap of the IDI. I've already started playing around with the pipe routing and crap like that, and some orders are starting to finally pile in. Show you what we got real quick. So here's the overall plan. This will snake around the cab. It'll curve up here, and then we're gonna have a curve down there. I already showed you on the truck, sort of there. We're gonna attach it all with the clamps because, I mean, tested one. As long as I use the cement. I didn't use the cement in the beginning, and I tested water, and there was tiny small leak. So I did put the cement up there just to, you know, get a perfect seal on it, and it seems to be good now. And this is rated for 1500 degrees, so we shouldn't have any issues. If the exhaust ever gets to 1500 degrees, you're melting the piston anyways, so we should be good. So yeah, stay tuned. The best thing I found to get this in there is just snake it into the firewall as so here, between the firewall and the motor or the exhaust manifold. Snake it down up in there. And to finish the rest, you might have to get under the vehicle. See what you can do. See the exhaust stick right there. Just a little bit of persuasion. I might have to lift this boy up here a little bit. Okay, and it's snaked through, and you want it about right there, so you can see that bolt thing's right between the floor and the trans is right here. Obviously, I don't know how this would work on a manual, guys. I mean, automatic, guys. So if you have an automatic, I don't know. It might work, it might not. This is a T18, so this is the manual trans. Well, cut once, measure twice. This is just, oh well, we got some extra pipe. We'll cobble this together and get this going. This is such a great setup. Obviously nothing's clamped yet, except for this portion. Yeah, see that flange, measured that right, but oh well. Show you guys the top real quick as well. See what we're dealing with. And this is how she looks at the top, or the front, sorry. There is a band, a V-band flange thing that's gonna go on the pipe as well. I just don't have that part. I ordered that, it hasn't come yet. You know, obviously we're gonna have to move this little. All right, so there's the mostly finished product now. So we got the flange obviously right there, meeting to the factory exhaust, which obviously is pretty rusty, so I wasn't messing with that. So it just bolts in, clamp, nice U, clamp, straight pipe right under the trans cross member, flex pipe for some little rigidity there. And then we have a 90-degree bend right there, which goes up into a 45-degree bend up in there, as you can see. Obviously, these two portions aren't clamped yet. It's just fitting in place, but it all fits now, so we're good. That 45 terminates into another 45, which is this one here. And again, if you want better views of this, I know it's hard to see, just look at the beginning. I mean, if you saw the beginning, you saw what it looked like. And then another 90-degree U. Did cut out a little bit of this fender well, just so it doesn't, you know, melt. And then we got her going right up here, the 90-degree, to this eBay flange here, which is pretty damn close to that heater box, and I think we're gonna have some issues there, but I could put a little piece of heat shield between that and this. I have really good heat shields that I think will be fine. All right, so we finally got that turbo mocked up, mounted pretty much. It's not 100% ready yet, obviously, so did weld this nice bracket up here. So we turned it and then welded it right to the frame. The welds to the frame are 110 stick, so I did the best I could. It is stuck there, so I will touch it up with the 220 if we have issues. I just don't have 220 out in this shop, so that's that. I have a nice little cross brace going on here to stop any lateral movement. Before, when I just had it welded to the frame, there was a lot of lateral movement, but as you can see now, there's none with this bracket. This carriage bolt is just temporary, guys, so don't grill me on that. I got too short of bolts to this side, so I'll have to go to the store and get a longer bolt there. All right, so we got the factory intake hat off, and now we've got the turbo back mounted. This is going to be the final height. Obviously, it did sit quite a bit higher with that actual V-band clamp in place, so it is what it is. I just cobbled together some steel spacer, obviously still temporary for the carriage bolt, but it's gonna go through here, bolt there, that'll bolt up to that, and it'll be just the same as it was. Still sturdy. Unfortunately, the turbo does sit a little bit higher now, but ultimately, before even, I was gonna have to cut the hood or in that part anyway, so honestly. All right, well, we just did the first injector. It's all new there. The one I pulled out, all right, so I did finish the injectors finally. That was way worse than I was thinking it was gonna be, because I was doing all 8 of them and I had no issues with 7 of them, and then the 8th one, that was actually that one over there, probably the worst one to do it, other than maybe that one in the very back. But we ended up breaking an injector off in the head, so that was about a week of me trying to get that out, figure out how to even get it out. I have a whole other video on that if you actually are in that same situation. If you want to watch that, just watch that on the channel. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but so that was that ordeal. And then I went on vacation, and then I've been sick for the past week, so haven't had the motivation to get back out here. So right now, this is like 2 weeks after I started the injectors to now actually getting this thing going again. So I'm gonna put the turbo back on. We're gonna finish the oil lines for it, and stay tuned. And then that's what it looks like when I just throw them back on real quick. So I didn't measure correctly because this coolant hose is kind of in the way, but you can kind of just about move it out of the way, so I don't think we're gonna have issues. But honestly, we're gonna. All right, so everything is all plumbed now and ready to go pretty much. We got this all plumbed in and into the filler neck, the high pressure side. Showed you that down there. That's how it looks when it comes up here. We're gonna zip tie it a little bit down just so we don't have to cut out as much of the hood, but other than that, it's done. This is all plumbed now too. You can see it's all connected. The only thing I do got to do real quick is I'm gonna head to the auto parts store, and I'm just gonna get a little air filter that'll fit this, and then I do need a 2-inch band clamp as well for this one as well. And then other than that, we're ready to fire this thing up. For initially, I'm just gonna leave the hood open. We'll cut it out later. Looks like we're just gonna have to cut out this nice section. Why is it smoking? We just got the hood cut out. So now this does close. We only had to cut out just a little bit. Not a whole lot. We just got this wheel torqued down too because when we took off, because I remember watching a video, some fool person didn't torque their 6.9 wheel down and it fell off on video. Yeah, I wonder if you guys know who that might be. But yeah, so we're gonna take this for a spin real quick, see how it goes. All right, well, I took it down the road a little bit. Went pretty good actually for what this is. I had to close that window because this thing absolutely chooches. I got smoked out, so we let this car pass real quick and let's go. This thing has so much more power. That is like an insane difference when I first did this, did a pull. That wasn't even put to the floor either. It's got an insane much more power with that little turbo. And apparently from the factory, or from the forums, apparently a turbo only adds 5 horsepower on these things. But it adds 50 pounds of torque, so you know, there's that. But honestly, that is not 5 horsepower, that difference. That is a huge, huge difference. We'll do another pull up here too. I am taking her a little easy because this thing still doesn't have functional power brakes right now, so it's not very easy to stop at all. So that is why I'm taking her a little bit easy on this, because we are obviously on the road, so you gotta be a little careful, because it stops, but it definitely doesn't stop very easily. Oh, this is what every single fucking time I bring this out here, there's a car right there. I swear this road isn't even that busy. Alright, we're gonna wait for this dump truck too, and then we're gonna go. Back from that this test and tune, we used quite a bit of fuel. Not even joking, that was a lot of fuel for that little trip. But that thing had way more power. And it runs, since those injectors were done, it runs so much better than it, as you can probably tell. Oh shit. Kinda looks like we might have been leaking some fuel here. Alright, so we're in second gear. We would just do a nice pull. Try to figure out where that fuel leak is. I tightened up the lines a little bit, so maybe it went away, I don't know. But way more power. Already rolling foam all over that hood too. I have not touched that injection pump. So I think if we turn that pump up a little bit with this turbo, it is going to give it even more power. With no turbo, it's not going to do much, but with turbo, it is going to help. So, but honestly, by the way that thing is rolling, it really doesn't really need much more fuel. It's already quite tuned. But we're about to run out of gas. I mean, this thing is absolutely just annihilating the fuel. And I think it's obviously, it's leaking it. It's definitely not using that much. So we're gonna pull in here. Oh yeah. Stop it. And maybe just give it another look. We are leaking, oh wow, leaking quite a bit of oil out of that cylinder, because that is where the return line for the turbo is, obviously, so that makes sense. Yeah, she's emptying. Overall, it's pretty damn good. So we're gonna have to go get some diesel if we want to continue these shenanigans. Only one of these tanks works, and it's this one, and this one holds like 5 gallons, so not very good. It wasn't full when we started, and it's empty now. I had like used those 2 gallons up and lickety split. So we're gonna go get some diesel, maybe we'll rip it around a little bit more. I'm gonna have to figure out that oil leak too, because I know exactly why it's leaking. There's like there's an O-ring that goes between that filler neck and the pump, and I didn't replace it. I just threw it back on, and you know, obviously it looks like you need to replace it because it's leaking quite a bit of oil. So other than that though, I'm quite happy with this initial run.